The MediaSMP. The second server I ever ran. And, it's got a bit of history to it. It's ended, if I'm remembering from my memory, it ended, look at my notes, where are they? There they are. Hmm. Around a year ago? Compared to the first server I did, the WebSMP, this is overdue by a year. The original got its video like maybe a couple months afterwards, but yeah, it's here. It exists. See, we're in the bar, the River Dover bar, which is we'll talk about this bar later, but overall this server has had a long range of builds, and this video is going to well, I think all of them. I say I think because there are some I probably have missed because I don't know everything on this server. It is impossible to know everything is in this server because it's decently big, like it's pretty large. A lot of people didn't build near, some people didn't build near spawn. So if you're on this server and I didn't have your base, I am sorry, I don't know where you live. But this server had some really stupid builds. Like for example, it had the statue I made, which just exists to flex. We had the tree farm, which was honestly there just to help out because it was kind of annoying just having pods all everywhere. So tree farm, yeah. Actually, it was pretty useful. I use it quite often. But that's enough of the random crap. Let's talk about some of the fun things. First off, as I said, this server ended over a year ago. What does that mean? Well, it kind of ended due to lack of player base, and I was also a part of a different server at the time, so it sort of felt right to end it there, because I wasn't online, I didn't want to invite any new players, because obviously wasn't going to be playing on there, so I decided to end the server prematurely. Some of my builds weren't even complete, but, oh well, that's life. We also had votes on the server for specific things, one of which was the inclusion of warp doors, which we'll cover in the next section. They are you could consider them cheating, which I kind of do, but at the exact same time they were voted in by the majority. I put out a vote, said, "Hey, yeah, do you want this? Do you want me to add this?" The majority said yes, and then we added it. You also might be noticing, I'm in a different skin to usual. This familiar looking skeleton. Well, this is a skin I use on this server, so I thought, I'll pull out of retirement. It's like not a skin I use often, but yeah, I can use this outfit again at some point. But right then, let's cover the first building ever made on the server. My home. What do I say? It is a small little wooden house made of cobblestone and oak, because that's all I had. It is on the very edge of a cliff face with a lovely basement with a warp door inside, which was added when this place was built. It is honestly speaking, it was a lot of people ended up living there for a while. People just kept living there, so I had to solve a problem. And by that I mean I made a little community house, which they didn't use. But yeah, as a whole, the community house and my starter base were pretty. I mean, the starter base was alright. The community house was stupid little box that was. It was useless, never used, and I ate it. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was pretty useless. It was constantly getting destroyed by Ravengers and such because it just wasn't very well designed. But as a whole, we also sold items on this server, like using diamonds. So, for example, I sold enchanted books using villagers I had, which the villager hall was a cramped hallway and they had no rights. I'm saying that now, they had zero rights. Why would they have rights? Come on, be realistic here. They're villagers, they aren't people. But I made a little raft thing inspired by Green's Hermitcraft base from Hermitcraft shop to the raft from season 7. It is terrible in comparison. Very much bad. Very, very, very bad. But yeah, it existed. All my stuff was eventually moved to here, this base, to a building I'll talk about in a bit. But Yeah, if that doesn't say how old this server is, that yeah, it's pretty old. Next thing. What should we cover next? Ah, yes, my least favorite build, apart from the stupid house, the Christmas tree. It was Christmas on this server a total of one time, and guess what? Come closer, come closer. Not that close, this close. No one ever used it. We never used it. It was built, ignored, never used. And it never got used. It was it is just a spruce tree grown with light added on it. There was snow on it for a while, but it melted because of the lights. But yeah, yeah, didn't really be used. But oh well. It was nice to have it on there. People always question why it was still up. I just said it couldn't be asked. It was near spawn. I was always here, so I never really saw it. Right then. Another stupid build done by me. Let's talk about someone else's build. Creeper's base. Creeper's base was connected to the rest of the place via the Soul Sand Road I put near spawn. They weren't everywhere on the server, there was a bit in spawn, but that is about it. Creeper's base was mainly made of bamboo and was connected to the rest of the spawn area through a small little bridge. I don't think had sand soul sand on it or sand like the soul soil whatever it is. I don't think. Yeah, it didn't. I just checked. Didn't have it. It was a lovely surrounded by a nice bamboo wall. Had a lovely, very glass building. A lot of efficient farms there. It had villagers for a while, but then I don't know what happened. But one day they kind of all just died. I don't think it was my fault. It could have been. Probably was my fault, but they kind of died. Sorry, raids. Raids are a pain in the ass. Creeper also made another build, which was a mob farm, which I don't know how to use. I never figured it out. It looked confusing, or it didn't look confusing. It was more like I didn't know how it worked. I never figured it out. I asked, and Creeper never really told me. So, yeah. But enough moping about the fact that I don't know how mob farms work. Let's talk about another build of mine. My second base, because I have multiple on this server. Why? I don't know. I got really bored. This base was made of sandstone with a lovely deep slate roof, originally made by Shark, before Shark was banned for a while for being Shark, and then Shark came back and made something I'll tell about in a second. But then it's not bad. It had a chest monster for a while. Well, it still does. I never fixed it, but it got to the point where Creeper got fed up and sort of tried cleaning it. He tried. He really did try. There wasn't much saving it, to be fair. There's not much saving it. It was a bit of a mess. Inside, however, there was quite a lot. Like, it had a lovely tower full of books. It was a stupid amount of books. I didn't need that many books. I had that many books. I know you did it. It took forever. I also had a bunch of underground farms full of crops, which I didn't ever use. As I said, I basically lived here from that point onwards, so I never used it. Lovely snow golem called Chilber. I've not seen him up since I'm recording. I was recording all the behind the scenes because I never, like I said, I'll never at spawn. But yeah, as a whole, I kind of like that base. It was a nice base as a single building. Overall, I prefer where I am currently speaking, but that's because I like the vibe more. Now then, on to Shark's new base. Shark's new base was a really pretty looking base. I've got to admit, I love it quite a lot. The first there's not much of an interior to it, but the outside is amazing. It's a lovely, beautiful cherry oak wood for the roofs. The walls are all lovely white. It's a lovely combination of colors. There's nothing on the second floor, and I wanted lighting in there, so I put torches in every single block on the floor. You can't say it's not lit up. It's lit up. And then and a fun fact about it: there is a hidden base in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure Shark knows about where it is. I know where it is. Creeper knows where it is. Shark, I think, knows. But there is a little base in the empty section of the roof that me and Creeper like just made a little thing into. The redstone for that took about a couple hours or something. It took a while. It was a stupid little project, but yeah, it was fun. Now then, a base I originally, when I was recording all of the B shots, I forgot to record because it's so out of the way, because Fern's just always does stuff like that. It's Fern's little hobbit hole. It's, no, actually, it's a nice little base. It was never completed, sadly, but you want to know where Fern got all the materials from that base from? Fern got all the materials from my storage system. It's all from, most of it's from my base. Fern just sort of got in there, stole a bunch of stuff off me and sort of wandered off, and then I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm mugged. Fern lives a decent bit away from spawn, not like enough to need to fly or something, but like enough so it's like a bit a long walk. It's kind of annoying to get there. I have to like properly travel to get to that Fern's base. That's why I missed it when I first doing all the B-roll. I was like, okay, then all the B-roll, bye bye, I'm off. And I was like, oh wait, I forgot to do Ferns. But yeah, now we come to where we are currently speaking. My third and final base, the village. As you can see, there's a lot. I made a flag for this base. It's all right. It's pretty monochromatic, but I like monochromatic. Let's just get used to it. I made my village compared to spawn is at the coordinates 1601 65286. I'm a bit away from spawn. There is a portal on the nether roof which has a massive path of lime wool. I duped a bunch of lime wool and did it because I thought, yeah, funny lime wool. And you also get to see all my boys up there. My boys, my cluster of boys, which are just there indefinitely because they were in like around here for a while, but there was just so much lag all the time because there's too many of them always loaded in. So I moved to Nether, so out the way. We also made the Nether portal here in a small man-made cave I made, which I'm actually pretty happy with that portal. It's a lovely portal design. It's like around from the bar, just that direction. But it's a lovely little portal. It also connects to a lovely bridge, which goes over the river, over to all the other stuff, next to the windmill. The old mill. It has a lovely. I used warped wood, and it's the first time ever trying to build in this style, and I gotta admit, I'm pretty happy with it. I like the interior quite a lot. I'm pretty proud of it. For a while, it was where I lived until I actually made, well, my base over that way, which is I'll talk about in a minute. But then we also have the field of wheat next to it, which I do also quite like, and then a small pumpkin patch, which I've always liked because I used some more mob head stuff like the blockheads. I added little blockheads everywhere. I think I used either candles or pickles from my memory for the stems, and that was alright. It went pretty well. But then you might be wondering, I mentioned warp doors earlier. Where is it? Where does it connect to? Because there is one in the bottom of the basement. There's originally gonna be more, but there's only one there. Where does it connect to? Well, it connects to the Church of Quonk, which is here at my base. It's a massive sandstone structure with cut copper roof where I eventually moved all my books I sell to afterwards. It is big. The entire back tower is completely empty because I didn't know what to put on there. The front half is decorated, just not the back half. But oh well. I tried. I really tried. I didn't know what to put there. I'm kind of ashamed of that fact, but I didn't know what to put. But anyway, moving on to one of the most used parts of this entire base, the shack and the barrels. There is a shack I made. Why did I make it? I don't know. But the barrels, oh, I use the barrels a lot. I use them all the time. I use them when I went fishing on the docks, which the docks are by alone just one of my favorite builds on this server because I've used them on so many other servers. It's where I fish. I would fish a bunch of stuff, put all the stuff in the barrels, which are that side of the bar. I then would go back to fishing and go back and forth and all around the world until we get doing that again and again and again. We get a lot of fish doing that. And I never had no food here. I always had food lying around somewhere. But now there's only two. We have a couple buildings left. We have the water tower, which I don't like. I rushed it. I didn't. It was badly designed. The bottom half was designed beforehand, but then the rest of it wasn't designed, and then it just didn't look good. Then we have here the River Dover Bar, which is where we've been recording in, because I like this building. It is one of my favourites. my favorite buildings go dock and here. I like these the most because they're simple and they're pretty nice and homey. Also, I like using soul lanterns. They're so nice. I love the lighting they give. They give such a mood, like they give such moody lighting, which is why I loved building this place. Oh, I sold honey here. They have a honey farm below, which I'm not going to show because it would violate some codes, and it is bad going in there. I don't want to ever go in there again. If you go in there, you're probably gonna get stuck in there because there's too many bees. We also have a tower behind us which goes up a bit. It's not a very good tower. I'll give that. The tower's not very good. I'll probably make it circular if I'm doing it again. But oh well. But now we're on to the final build. The singular build on this server, which was used to store the most items, the ironworks. The ironworks were, good. It was a blacksmith shop, basically speaking, but it didn't sell nothing. The entire first floor was just for, like, decoration, and the second floor was too. The attic, however, had a bunch of mob head stuff, like mini blocks, mob heads, player heads, everything I can find. And they're pretty full. I got a lot of blocks from it. I got a lot of mini blocks. I never used a single one really. I didn't use them super often. I only used them for like certain builds. I never used them on this server really, apart from the pumpkin batch. Cause I never got around to using them. I could have used them in here for like beer mugs or something if I use a player head, but I didn't ever get around to doing it. But then we also have the basement of it, which is what happens when you leave me with space and chests. It's called my chest monster version 2. It is worse than the original, and it will never be fixed because, as I said, their server's dead now. It's gone, dusted, revolted, atomized. I can't think of any more words to describe a dead server. Leave it in the comments if you think of anything more. Yeah, go with that. That's a good option. But that's the entire history of the server. That's every build on the server. That is just everything. Overall, I do like this server. But mainly because it was a multiplayer server which I could just chat on, which I'm now on another one. Not run by me. Thank God I hate running servers. I have learned to hate running them after this server and the MediaSMP, Season 2 that is, and then MediaSMP Alpha Season 1. Yeah, I do not have the Season 1 Wildfire WebSMP, so don't even question for that video. That doesn't exist. And the WebSMP Season 2, that won't get one of these ever, because every single thing I did on that server was streamed. So you're just gonna go watch the live streams, I guess. I might edit them down in future and do a video maybe. If this video gets what's a good amount of likes? 15 likes. I will grab all of the MediaSMP Season 2 footage, and I'll edit them down and make a video similar to this. And if this video gets 25 likes, or I'm pushing big numbers, I will recreate the original WebSMP video in this style. And you have to get to that before the end of the year. That's a long time frame, because I don't expect to meet it very soon, and also I have other videos planned for currently speaking, so even if I got them super soon, they'll be put on the back burner to at least July. So I've got other videos I gotta do. I've got a few more planned, which I've got 2 planned currently speaking, and the one of them's already beginning production, and then another one's partially in the script writing phase, and it's going to be probably finished by the end of the year, hopefully. But oh well. As a whole, fun server, and if you can hit the like and subscribe button, it'll be peak. That's how the kids say it, right? They say the word peak. They go, oh, this is peak gaming. Oh yeah, Skibbity higher is. Oh, that's the word the slang use. Please just kill me.